to Bead with me. I'm Kay, your host from Fantastic Stars Beads. This show is a little show for inspiration, motivation, and whatever is trending here in the bead life here at Stars Beads. So welcome. Please say hello, even on the replay. I always love knowing where you're coming in from, how you found me, what you like to play with, and how your weekend was. I'm hoping that it had to be better than my weekend. That is for sure. We'll wait for a few people to hop on because I know that we are hopping in here on StreamYard. And you know that is oftentimes when we are bringing in a special guest. So make sure you say hello as you guys are coming in. We are going to give you some latest updates and get to play around. I'm going to show you a little box opening, and you guys know it's a special day today. We are going to be playing with a crystal turtle today. So we're going to be playing here with Paula Montgomery of Desert Cat Creations and be bringing her in here shortly. But I figure we go over a few announcements because I know that it was kind of a abrupt ending to last weekend. Because for some of you guys that know, one, we came back from a trip and we have Miss Lana Kai. She is breaking through with, you want to show off those teeth? Can we show off those teeth? Can we get a little glimpse? She says, no, thank you. I'm working them out. So we had Lana Kai. She is getting brand new little teeth right down here, and then it was Jonah's birthday, so he was turning the big into the double digits. So it was a big one. This is a sign that I had made to let him know that we've loved him for 3,640 days. He's a math kind of guy, so I thought that was kind of cute. And I'm making sure we are showing up here. So let's see. Am I seeing comments? Oh, maybe I'm in the wrong space here. Let me pop this on. Oh, there we go. I wasn't seeing any comments, but that's because they're in a different space when we do it on here. So at least we get a chance to come on live again. So for those that might be catching the episode this week, last week I got home from a little trip from Florida. That was a 2-day ride with a 7-month-old, a 10-year-old, and grandma. At least I didn't have to do the driving, but travel is always a little bit harder with kids. And but Lana Kai did really good all the way throughout. And say hi. Yeah, you did great going all the way to Florida, but we came home and Daddy fell ill as soon as he got home from work. So we landed from Florida on Thursday, and then we had to take him to the ER on Thursday night. He didn't get back until 5:30 in the morning, and then he slept all day, and then we almost took him back to the ER the next night, and so it was like 48 hours of nonstop there, as well as trying to make sure we got all the details right down for the big pool party for my son since he was turning 10. So that was on Sunday, and barely made it through that to bring us into Happy Monday. So we're making it through. I'm a little bit exhausted, and I'm hoping that I'm not catching a little something myself, because that mama can't go down. You know how that is? Like, mama's got to stay standing. Isn't that right? You want to say hi? You waving? Do you see yourself? Yeah. So we're going to see how this week is going. As long as I don't come down with something myself, we will be hanging out here definitely with Paula Montgomery here of Desert Cat Creations, as well as playing around with, so we had to cancel Friday night and Saturday night live, so we will hopefully get that rescheduled for this weekend. Right now, that is the plan. I will give you later announcements. We're going to probably try to do a Friday and Saturday this week instead, and as long as I'm still standing. Isn't that right? Oh, yes. And then I decided to start sleep training too this week, and as soon as I got home. And this one has been doing really well. But as moms know, like sleep training a baby, just hearing them cry, like till you feel like their lungs are just at their all-time high is really stressful. But she has ended up doing well. And you know what, maybe the exhaustion helped, because I was like, okay, if I just time this for 5 minutes, I'll just let her cry, and then go back in there, and then finally by like minute 7, after the second or third time, silence. There was silence. It was a beautiful thing. And so Mama was able to get a little bit of rest here and there. So, you got to grab it when you can get it. So, all right. Well, let me welcome in Paula Montgomery. Let me bring her in here. Let's say hello.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can all hear me today.
Yes, you have a microphone on. How is Arizona? Is the heat as hot there as it is here? Probably higher.
It's a little warm and humid this week, but we've actually dropped below 100, but it's the high 90s. So
yeah.
It's only lower because it's cloudy.
Well,
it's nice.
I guess in your neck of the woods, it tends to be good for beading weather then when it's this hot.
Yeah, definitely.
Get to be inside and play around a little bit. Well, let me say hello. We got some people coming in. I will highlight some of their comments here throughout the show, because I know that sometimes it's hard to watch those comments and as they're coming in, but we're super excited to play with you here a little bit. I always love hanging out and catching up with you. Let's see who's on here with us. I see Jennifer and June and Patrina and Janelle. Hey, Janelda and Teresa, welcome on in. I see Teresa, you're watching in from YouTube. How's it showing up there? We're getting to double stream. How cool is that, Paula? We're on YouTube too, by the way.
Okay, I only see the Facebook comments. I can't see the YouTube comments. But
oh, well, they both should come in if you just look in comments. Do you see Teresa Sunny's comment?
Yeah.
Do you see hers? Do you see that little red YouTube sign under her name?
Yeah, I'm only seeing the. I see Janelda, Jennifer, and June, and Patrina. Yeah,
are you looking on StreamYard, or are you looking on Facebook Live?
Oh, I'm looking on Facebook because I can't see them on StreamYard.
No, if you look at the comments within here, that's why we'll highlight them as we're going in, and I know people will be hopping on, but I'm glad that we're slowly getting people in. I know the notifications go a little bit slow, but we're on YouTube too. Hey, Karen. Hey, Deborah. Glad to see you guys are making it on in. So I'm excited because we got, so I came home and I got a box, and I figured might as well save it to when I got on here with Paula to get a chance to play a little bit. So maybe some of you guys have gotten your fun little packages, and even if you didn't, you can order yours, I'm sure, still too. You still have a few left there?
We still have some turtle kits available and cards. So.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's right, because on the bottom, do they taste good? And it looks like there was, there's something else at the bottom here. And in our colors, I see. Ooh, we got some other things. All right, I'm going to put you down for a second.
Monica wants to play too.
You hold on to that for a minute. And let's take a look and see what's here.
Does she like the bubble wrap?
Yeah, you know. Well, they chew on silicone so much, so it's like everything that's like that plasticky taste, which isn't great, but at the same time, look at it. Are these like, I'm taking a look here. Let me see if I can.
Okay. So
you guys, you can tell us a little bit about what I have here. Look, okay. I'm opening this up.
You're looking at the cards, and there's a little bit of findings to go with the cards.
With the cards,
you need them as you're making the projects. So
all right, so this is what I'm opening up the new so this comes with your Bead Stash Challenge piece. Okay, well, so you want to tell us
people have to ask for the beads and the cards. They are sold separately.
But you can get the whole stash here.
Yep.
So tell me about this news part of the deck. So it looks like Booster Creek, Sun and Sea. So we got a new expansion pack.
Yeah.
It looks like.
So the new expansion pack is beachy, summery themed projects, and it's 9 new projects to make. There's also 9 new use cards, so you can make really summery, beachy things if you add those components to your designs. And then I forget how many the challenge cards are, but they're all kind of summery and beachy and themed. So,
well, and I can see here my first one down at the bottom, it says make a barrette. So
that's what I'm making this week. That's what I drew yesterday. So.
Oh, that's what you drew. So in her parts kit, so sometimes when you kind of get those parts that aren't always easy to collect, you know, look, there's a barrette, there's a hair little clippies. It looks like there's some turtles and some starfish, and a whole bag of goodies here too. Actually, I want to open this. You guys should see what's in this too. This is a fun little collection here.
So that's the beachy bead collection, I like to call it, that Kay and Bedoria helped put together for us. And it'll help you complete your project.
Happy to get to see it in person. So if you guys like that little collection here, this is a nice little kit. So you don't have to get the cards. You can just get the component pieces here. So look at that. Oh, and there's a little ceramic turtle in there. It's a little bright. Let's see. There. How cute is that? And then it looks like we've got some lava and some mermaid beads. Let's see. There we go. The mermaid beads and the blue, clear, 2-color blues, and a lot of the fun clay beads to go along with it. So that's a nice combination. And let me see what else is on in this bag. May I have this bag, Monica? Thank you. She helped me start trying to open it here. It looks like. How cute. And you got turtle stickers too. I love it. All right, so this is the other part. So this is what is coming in the turtle kit. So this is
so I sent you 2, so you only need to open one of those.
Okay, great. All right. I've got one here. And then let's see. Ooh, look at some cute little additions. Little sea turtle, some little cats. Oh, look at this wood bead with cactus on it. Look at that. How cute is that? That is super cute. I like that. And then look at these fishy buttons. You know, we were playing with buttons, so you could certainly make this a ring if you wanted.
Yep.
I did a live here last week, so you can scroll back on and catch the replay on making rings and some other components with buttons here. And then I know that we're going to get our family of turtles. So, and we got a ceramic turtle in this one too. We got a nice blue one. And then, of course, we have to have the whole family. So we got the baby, the mama, and the daddy turtle. So we've got a blue, a pink, and a green color combination. Super, super fabulous. And also then the set of instructions. And you do color printouts, don't you?
I do.
Look at that. So so you guys will get the whole collection, so you guys can still grab that. Let me put up her banner here. Let's see. Where'd it go?
Oh, thank you, Janelda, for I wore my turtle shirt today.
Yeah, how appropriate. Let's see. Yours is it's Facebook. We can find you at Desert Cat Creation.
So people can comment on Desert Cat Creations. I also set up a YouTube channel this week, although I only have a couple things up there so far. But
Well, that takes time. I guess yeah, I need to be better about keeping up on my YouTube channel myself. So I'm happy to kind of double stream here today. I usually use Facebook, but but I think I'm at that 1,000 followers. I think I hit that mark. So I don't know. I think something special is supposed to happen.
I was gonna say, people coming in on YouTube, you'll have to just message me if you don't have Facebook access. But I'm happy to take any orders.
Yes, that certainly sounds good. Or they can certainly find me on, I will check. I will see comments from YouTube too.
Okay.
So.
I see people are commenting on here too. That's fine. I'll try to pull all the orders off there. So, hey,
Yep.
Kathy.
Yeah. So if you guys want something, you can also put it right here in the comments, because that's the way live works. It's kind of cool like that. So but we certainly try to grab the comments as much as we can. So. But
and if you haven't ordered from me, please message me your email. So.
Yeah, but there's so many places that it can happen, isn't that right? So, all right, let's bring in and take a look at your table here today. Let's see. Why isn't that showing up the way? There we go. Look, and this is what they'll look like made up. Look at your family of turtles. You got yourself a whole. What do you call a sea of sea turtles?
I don't know. Didn't look that one up.
Anybody? Does anybody know? Somebody needs to Google that. What do you call a? It's not a school of turtles. That's a school of fish, right?
Right.
All right, I'm going to Google it. All right,
Okay.
Paula, I'm going to let you take it away. We got your things to play with, and I can pull out my goodie bag right here as Lana, Kai, and I are going to play along with you.
Excellent. So I was excited about sharing the turtles with you guys because, unlike the rabbits and the turkeys, there's a lot of flexibility in what you can do with the turtles. So I've made little tiny ones that are even like earring size. So that's just using a 10 millimeter coin, and a small head and stuff, and you can make them that small. So they don't have to just sit on your table. Now, sometimes you want them to just sit on your table. So like this one I made out of, you might recognize this bead from Beadoria, but it screams turtle to me. I love that as my turtle shell. So.
Yes, and so I think you can order that on beadoria.com. All right, I found it. A group of sea turtles is called flotilla.
Oh, okay.
It kind of Flotilla, or
A flotilla.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Okay.
Which is also what you can call a group of warships.
Mm-hmm.
And then, another name for a group of sea turtles is a bale. BALE. All right, something we learn every day. Continue on.
Excellent. We learned something new today. So, like I said, you can do a lot of flexibility in these. There's definitely some differences in sizes. So, as I was playing around with them, like this one, I think the head is a little big, but I think you can still tell he's a turtle, right? This one I tried using like a long bead for the head, which I didn't think came out quite as well, but it's really up to what you like. So I think either a large coin or a oval. We're going to use ovals in the kit. Make nice turtles. And you can make it into a tortoise by just putting the legs down and having him stand up. He doesn't have to be a sea turtle if you like your land tortoises.
If you make it a little bit longer tail, it can be like we just saw like an alligator turtle.
Oh.
I didn't know. I saw this turtle walking, and it was really huge. So I started walking up to it right down here on our road, and it had a really long tail, and it was standing so upright. I had never seen a turtle stand up so tall, and he was moving rather fast. And I realized that his tail seemed extra long, so I started looking it up, and I believe it was an alligator turtle. So who knew?
Well, another thing, so as you design your turtles today, we're going to have to make some decisions. So This one I made into a sun catcher.
Ooh, I like
Used a
that.
little bit of chain and some additional crystals to make it nice and shiny. Um,
I was
so the
thinking that's a
instructions
great
are
idea to
written.
do.
Oh, sorry. What did you say?
I was thinking that's a great idea to do. I was thinking these would make great sun catchers, even if you didn't make it into a turtle.
Yeah, they would. They would. But I was gonna say one of the things we have to think about today is I have written the directions to put a wrapped loop at least at the top, and I like to do that just for the flexibility that if I want to turn it into an ornament or I could put a bigger loop and make it into a pendant, um, or just add a bail onto this as it is. But you do need to decide if you're wanting to hang anything off of it, because as we make it, you'll need a loop at both ends if you want to hang something off of it. So just consider that in advance. Um, you also, oh, I also did make a bracelet version, um,
Yes.
little tiny
Oh,
guy.
that looks so good.
So I've been wearing it to see if it gets caught on things because that was my concern. But I think as long as you keep the legs close into the body, I haven't had too much trouble. It wouldn't work very well with a sweater.
Yeah, but the color works perfect with that bracelet
Yep.
piece.
Yeah, so there are lots of things you can do with them. So I've been very excited about sharing that with you. So with
I love what's on your wrist today too, Paula.
uh,
Your other wrist. Look at her.
oh, so yesterday I made a rainbow. I don't know if anybody saw my rainbow pictures. We had our first big storm of monsoon season here, and we had a beautiful double rainbow out back in my yard. So I made a rainbow bracelet on my show yesterday with turtles, of course, because it's Turtle Week. Um,
We must have been thinking rainbows for sure because that's the same string I used last week with my pearl. I did Pride and
yeah,
Pearls last week.
yeah. So yeah, I'm all about the turtles today.
I love it.
So we can dive in, and I'll try to discuss a few things of the design decisions as we go along. Um, I have tried making these a little bit with gemstones, just so you know, and I don't know if I don't have things that are the right dimensions. They never look quite right, although this
What
one
do you
worked better
what do
as a
you
sea
guys think
turtle
of
than a
that? Look,
tortoise.
what do you guys think of the gemstones? You guys can put it in the comments. You know, I'm a crystal fiend, so I feel like I kind of like the crystals.
Well, with the exception being this guy, because I love the design on the turtle there. But
Right? That's true. I like that first one, like you said.
yeah, that was my first turtle was with these beads actually.
I'm gonna have to find that. Janella, maybe you can find that on my website for me. She'll.
So just so you know, Kay, when I ordered them, they never sent them, so I don't know if they were out.
Ooh, okay. I'll have to. I have to check back overseas and see what they say.
Okay. So I'll just we'll go ahead and open. I'm gonna just use the daddy turtle, I think, for my starters because it's easier to see because it's nice and large. Um, so you should have a head. You do have the bodies. Now, one thing I noticed, and I didn't notice it ahead of time when I made my practice one, is that these crystals do have different bling, which depending on which side you're looking at. So make sure you get the shiniest side up.
Yeah, that's a
I
crystal AB kind of, or that finish sometimes when they put it on.
Yeah, I mean, the head I didn't notice so much, but it does look a little reflective. Yeah. So the rest of the beads in here are for the tail and well, so you'll find one rondelle, which can be used as the neck bead. and it's optional. You do not have to put a neck bead on there if you want him to have a shorter neck. But I like it as far as providing a little bit of spacing when I put the square beads on there. If you're using rondelles on your legs or rounds, it's not as critical, I don't think, to have the neck in there because they'll snuggle in a little better. Um, and then in this one, there's a rice-shaped bead, which is there for the tail. Um, there's, there's my sample. Oh, on this one, I used those new kind of pinch triangle beads you had, um, which I thought worked pretty well on this big crystal. So, and again, a tail is optional because if you're putting a loop back there, you may not need the tail because the loop can act as your tail. But I do put at least a little tiny bead there to hold especially if you're not putting a wrapped loop on there, you will need a tiny bead to hold the back legs on. So hopefully that's not too confusing to people. And you will have three, I think there may be 4 sizes in some of these of cubes. So that's just to make the legs kind of taper. So we'll talk more about that when we get to that part of the design. So, and you know, now that I'm looking at this turtle, I think I got both his head and his body upside down. So I wasn't paying attention. It's really obvious on the mama turtle because the purple versus the blue. So, the green was a little more subtle. um, so since this doesn't necessarily have to be that stable of a platform, 22 gauge is fine, or you can use 20. Um, if you're going to make like a piece of jewelry that might get caught on things, I would say you want to use the thickest wire you can get by with so that it's less bendy. You want it to kind of hold its shape. So,
Janelda,
but
I was trying to see if you could find that one bead that was black with all those little spots that Paula had on the website. I'm looking too myself. Janelda was asking a quick question.
oh, this one?
Yeah, we're trying to see if we can find that on the website. We'll try to link it. I'm going to see if I have one more strand, I'll send it to you, Paula.
Okay. Because like I said, I'm pretty sure I ordered it when you had it on the sale, but it never came, so I assumed it wasn't available.
Sometimes that happens. Look, I'm gonna go search the barn. I'm gonna run over there real quick. You keep going.
Okay. So similar to the rabbits, we need basically 3 pieces of wire. You need 2 leg wires, and the dimensions that I gave in the directions are for using just the curled rolled loop. I like to call it a rolled loop, simple loop, whatever you want to call it, at the end. But if you want to do something like this where you don't have loops at the end, I don't know if you can see that, then you'll need it longer so you can wrap the wire back up. And the only reason for doing that is if you're doing a pendant, again, it'd be less likely to have a rough edge that would catch on your clothing. But it's totally up to you which way you want to do that. And like I said, I also have a wrapped loop here. You could use the rolled loop if you don't want to do a wrapped loop. It's all good. So it's really whatever design you want to come up with. So I'm going to initially just do the rolled loop for the legs on my turtle. So really, I'd say for the front leg, I'm going to maybe cut about 4.5 inches. I don't have the written directions in front of me, so I don't know what I put in there. And then I'm going to do about 3 for the back legs. So just like we did with the rabbits, you want to grab it near the middle of the wire and then just, make that loop so that you have something to hook onto the wire. Now, the good thing is if you start doing the body and you kind of actually forget to do the leg wires, you can just wrap the wire around and you can add it on later. But and again, we're just doing a simple loop in the middle, and that's just so it'll slide onto the wire. So for the body wire, you need to have enough to wrap down and back and do 2 wrapped loops if you're making this something that you're going to dangle something from potentially. So I would say probably at least a foot. I'd probably cut it a little longer if I was going to cut it. I'm going to work off the spool because that's, as many of you that watch me know, that's my preference. So, so I like to make the loop at the head first. So I need to put my components on from the tail back. So putting his tail on, then the rear leg wire. Then I'm going to put his body on, and we'll make sure we get the crystals oriented when we start wrapping it. Then his front leg wire, his neck, if you want to put his neck on. And like I said, I am going to use the neck today, and then his head. So you have all of those together, looking something like that. So I am going to go ahead and put a wrapped loop, but like I said, you could just do a rolled loop. You just need something that'll hold all your beads on.
No luck. I did not find it.
What did you say?
I didn't find the bead. I was hoping.
Oh, okay. I probably have the number in my stuff. I can send it to you later.
Ooh, okay. Teresa wants to know, she missed the gauge of the wire.
I'm using 22. I would use 20, but 22 should be fine. But I try to use 20 or 22 most of the time.
What's your favorite gauge to use, Paula? Do you have a favorite gauge?
I like thicker wire. I use 20 unless it won't fit through the beads.
Right. I think I tend to use 22 more because I like to use pearls a lot of times. So
yeah, I would say 20. If I was only going to buy one gauge wire, I would buy 22. Actually, yeah.
Yeah, one gauge.
22.
I would.
If I only had.
I find it really hard to only do one gauge.
Oh, I do too. But if I wanted to just start out and only buy one, I would buy 22.
Yeah, I find that fits most things and is strong enough. 24 can be sometimes a little thin. 20 gauge can be sometimes thick for people that might be new to using wire too.
Correct. Yeah. I'm also one of those people that I prefer like 20 gauge wire in my crunched earring wires. I don't like the thin ones that bend at all.
Yes.
But so a lot of the stuff you get is really thin. Yeah.
All right, so her go-to is 20 gauge.
Yeah. Now that I have this put on there, I want to push it up against the loop. So I do have to decide here if I'm going to put another loop back here or just wrap it back up there. What would people like to see me do? Because we can do one way and one another way.
What are the choices?
So we can either add an additional loop back here so that we can, if we make a sun catcher or something, we can hang him in the middle and something below him. Or we can just make the loop backwards like this, where we don't hang anything from below in.
Why don't we do nothing from the bottom, because I think we can imagine what the loop looks like.
Okay, do nothing from the bottom?
Because nothing at the bottom, since we did a loop at the top. So you can imagine you put a loop at the bottom, just like you did at the top.
Okay. So now you want to wrap back. So now is when you do have to pay attention to whether your crystals are faced in the direction you want them. So you want whatever the top side is of both the head and the body going the same way. So basically you want to kind of push this up tight, and then you just kind of bend the wire, and I wrap around the back. So I'm wrapping around this bead, and then I want to tighten the leg wires a little bit. So I'm going to wrap kind of twice around here so that I get that leg wire completely wrapped. And you can do under it or over it. It really doesn't matter. So. But now, like I said, I do have to make sure I'm going to use that as the, this one's really hard to tell, but I think that's the one I want on the top.
Well, they're beautiful on both sides.
It is. So now I'm just going to wrap across the body here. And then I'm going to wrap below the feet here, or the leg wires, and then around the top of the leg wire, because again, I just want that to be held still there. I don't want them moving around. And I need to make sure my head is going the right direction. So then I go around the neck, and then around here. And you could go around more times if you want. I'm just going around once. So. And then I'm going to wrap a couple times around here, and then I'm going to trim it and tuck it in.
I always think that adds just a little extra too.
So if you find that your beads are loose, you can always wrap extra wire through here. But the other thing, one thing I like to do, which also helps tighten up. So if you see this wrap comes from over here, and then I'm going over there. So what I do is just take my pliers and I put a little twist in here. And you can do multiples. This kind of adds a design, and it helps tighten up your wire so that things are less movie. Movie for a better word, yeah. And then I'll do the same thing on the head.
I think that totally gives like a kind of a lizardy look too.
Yeah, you could make this your top design if you really wanted, on top of the head. I kind of do it underneath because then I don't have to make it look super pretty, but
yeah,
see now
look at that.
It's pretty stiff and doesn't move around as much.
See, Lana Kai likes that.
She likes it again. All right. So now we just have to do the legs. And like I said, I'm just doing the simple roll legs. I like the look of, if you look at a real sea turtle, you can look at those stickers that came with your kit if you want to see what a sea turtle looks like. But the legs are kind of skinny, then they get fat, and then they get skinny again. Which is why I have multiple sizes in here. The back legs are more like one size. Yes, Teresa, it does waste less wire. I can see these comments that she's bringing them up. Yeah. So now you want to kind of lay out the legs. There should be, you can put them in whatever order you want. I tried to make sure you had enough crystals so that you could make it however you wanted.
Well, we figure it's like
Um,
our own legs. We get a little thicker in those thighs, right? And get skinny down your ankles.
yeah. So since I have little ones, I put a little one right up next to the neck bead. We're gonna do the front legs first, right? And then I took the next size up, and then the biggest one, and then and then I go down in size. Now you can make these legs however long you want. It's some turtles have longer legs. I tend to use 4 to 5, yeah, 4 to 5 beads on my front legs, and then depending on the size of the beads you're using, 3 to 4 on the back legs. But like I said, it really just depends on how long you want the legs to be. On the back, you can. I
And
don't put the
thing,
giant ones on there, but you can feel free. I again, I'm just gonna use the tiny ones and then put 2 of the same size. But if you had different sizes, you could do whatever looks right to you. It's all in making your turtle look like however you want it to look like.
well, and
Anyways,
I think putting a small one right by the neck helps as you get further out, right?
yeah, and like I said, I think with cubes you really need to because you want them to bend around a little
Yeah.
without bumping up to each other. If you're using rondelles, they'll bend a little better or rounds. Um, but the cubes are fun.
Well, what I always love about yours, you have a design, but it's also very free form. So I feel like it's also very forgiving.
Yeah, and I try to. So I did have a little bit extra wire, so I'm going to cut this off a little, and then I am going to use the simple loop or rolled loop, as I like to call it. And I like to roll it back towards the body, but it doesn't really matter. It's really up to you. I think I do that with all of mine, the bunnies and everything. I always wrap it in the same direction. And then you just want to go till it's tight. Now, you may not want to tighten it all the way until you have both legs on there because you want to be able to bend those legs. Because usually the turtle legs aren't sticking straight out.
Yeah, and that loop that she's making at the end, I sometimes call that like a cheater loop. Just a simple way to kind of close things off, make that loop without having to do a wire wrap per se. And sometimes when we do those tight kind of tassel style look, we do this style cheater wrap.
Well, and it's easy to tighten it if you need to tighten the stuff up against the body.
Yes, yes, it gives that. Uh, like you say, you don't have to tighten it all right away until both sides are on. Now,
Yeah.
did I see that on maybe some of them? You might have wire wrapped them around the cubes too, instead
Yeah,
of using the
so
loop.
on this one, I wire wrapped them all the way back um, with the idea that then there wasn't a sharp edge. So if I was going to make this into a pendant, it would be less likely to catch on the clothes because there's not a
Yeah,
edge there.
that caught my eye. I think I really like that style done that way.
Yeah. It, and if you break your bead, that's the other thing you have to be careful, and you have to wrap the foot again. You can do it.
It's possible.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
did. I
why
managed to.
I can't even tell. You can't tell.
I managed to break it. So yeah. So like I said, then you can just twist these around. If they're too loose, these ones are a little loose, but I think they're okay. You can tighten it up. But there's his front legs. And then, like I said, on his back legs, which I obviously cut more wire than I needed, but um, you could use, like I said, all one size. You could use um, multiple sizes, but I'm just using the one right now. And I'm cutting these back since I'm using the rolled loop to about a half an inch. Like I said, you'd need longer than what I had if you're gonna wrap them back. So we'll do that. We'll do a second one and we'll do the wrapped legs, just if you guys want to see what that's like. So, on these back ones, do be careful with these little tiny ones. For some reason, it's easier to tighten it up and accidentally crack your crystal. At least it is for me.
You got a strong hand.
Well, I get so excited about making it tight that I forget to stop. But you have extra crystals if you run into problems. Um,
That's exactly right. You'll have more than enough. You can probably make enough for like a little pair of cute earrings too.
So, hopefully you guys, I appreciated you all publishing your bunnies. I'd love to see your turtles too. And
That's
I do
right.
have a turtle that I will give away. I don't know where I put it though. I can't show it to you right now.
I
But if you post it on the Bead Stash Challengers group or in the Stars Beads group,
Yeah,
you
you'll
can
be
get in
entered
on a
in.
drawing.
So you guys can still, you can still grab a kit. I'll put up the banner for you. So you can still grab a kit, or if you can put together something yourself, or let's see your rendition of going through your stash of things.
Yeah.
Let's see what kind of turtles you can make.
So there's our Papa Turtle with no loop at the bottom, but he could be worn as a pendant. You just need to make sure you, like I said, you tuck those ends in so that they don't get caught on your clothing. And you could make a bigger loop to put this directly on a chain. This one would have to be put on a bail or something.
Or just put a jump ring through there.
Yeah, that works too.
Yes. Let's see. Karen says she found some things. There's a lot of good things that you can use. I was looking at some nice ovals that we definitely carried online as well. Karen looks like she had found some. Thank you, Karen.
Yeah, and like I said, the smaller ones, I know you definitely have this size in a bunch of colors. I don't think you
Yes.
sell them in the
Yes,
clear
that's exactly what
crystals.
I was looking at. Actually, one of the other style crystals. Those are the small
Yeah.
ones, and those ones would be probably ones you could use for your earring size, maybe, right?
Right. So for the earring size, I used those 10, I think these are the 10 millimeter coins. And then I had like 3 millimeter rondelles. And I
Crystal
think like
rondelles.
this might be a 4 or 5 millimeter head, 6 millimeter.
I
But
kind of feel like I want to make a rainbow one.
there you go. All right,
What
let's
do you think about a rainbow one, huh?
we'll make the another one.
Let's make Mama. We got Daddy.
We'll make Mama.
We
Yeah.
can make Mama. She's kicking. That means she's excited. Mama. She's gonna make a Mama turtle.
All right.
So if you guys have any questions, let us know in the comments. If you want a kit, you can throw it into the comments. Also, and which color do you think you like the best out of the three? You can put that into the comments. And, in the kit, you're going to get all three.
So in this one, we have one of these little bullet-shaped crystals that Kay has for the tail. I think it's the same tail on both of the smaller turtles. But a rice shaped would work if you're pulling it from yours, or like I said, those pinch triangles.
I like the idea. I still like the idea of making them sun catchers. And I'm thinking I will put all three of them on the same sun catcher and put Daddy and Mama and Baby on there.
I was going to do that, but I didn't actually put together.
Well,
But I
that's
did
okay.
make
When
the
you get it
one.
put together, you can throw that into the stash group. Because I
Yeah.
really like how that one looks right there.
Yeah, so this one, like it's just the one. I think this is the same color as the baby, although that came from my stash. But um,
But
all right,
I
so
would
this
like the
one we
whole
want to do the
family on it.
wrap back on the legs. So let me cut some longer wires for the legs.
I
So I
think
think last time I had like
I'm gonna
4 inches. I'm gonna I'm gonna try like 7. I'd rather have too much.
I know my magic number. I always seem to go for just 8 inches. Whenever I guess, it's just about 8 inches.
Yeah, and then maybe I'll do 6 for the back, only because I don't remember. I think I used 4 or 3 last time. Um, uh-oh, somebody's not happy with their turtle.
No, she wants to eat her thumb. That's her talking.
Oh,
She
okay,
was
you're
trying to work.
talking.
She's working on commentary.
Okay.
She's gonna be a talker. I was looking at my. I think it was my kindergarten teacher, and said that what kind of student I was, and she said that I was a great little kid, but I like to talk a lot. Who knew that was going to come in handy one day?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think that's what my kindergarten teacher said. I was a very quiet kid.
I was also the kid though that cried every day of kindergarten, and the teacher also had to carry me around. So I don't know whether that was a good or bad thing. Ow, ow! I like to think I didn't turn out so bad.
Yeah. So you'll see on this one we have a slightly different shaped heads, but these table cut ones work just fine for heads too, because it's sort of coin shaped. I do have one here that has a round head, so you can use a circle, or just a round bead for a head works too, if that's what you have. Um, but I like the look of the flat. Um, I don't think you could get by with a round body. I think it has to be flat. So we're gonna make our wrap loop here. And like I said, I do like to use the wrap loop because it holds, but the rolled loop would be probably plenty strong if you want to do something a little faster or you don't have all your tools handy.
I'm making a bottle really quick.
So since I'm using I have the longer wires right now. It is a little unwieldy with the legs going everywhere. So just beware if you make it with the longer wires, you do have that going for you. But I'm going to go ahead and put a loop at the bottom here because I want to be able to put it maybe in the center of the sun catcher. So, you just have to make your loop at the bottom, just like you would at the top, and just work your way around these leg wires at the moment. And once you do a couple of twists, then you can just start wrapping back towards the head again, just like we did last time. This smaller bead on the tail can be a little rough to get around the first time, which is why sometimes I go all the way around the legs first instead of trying to get it between the legs and the.
Teresa says that she was expelled from kindergarten. They can expel you in kindergarten? Oh my goodness. That's too funny.
So on this one, we need to make sure we get the crystal going the right direction, um, because you want the prettier side facing up, but the other side's equally pretty if you prefer that side. So
Just be mindful that there are two different sides.
yeah, I mean this one is this particular color combination is much more noticeable which side is which. So and they both go with the head, so either way is fine. All right, and then like I said, we'll just wrap that there, and now we have a loop at both ends.
I like getting to watch you work.
So again, if we want to tighten it up, and like I said, if your wire is good and tight and everything's tight enough for you, you do not have to do the little the extra thing I do here in the back. But you will see that I do that on most of mine when I flip them over. All right, so.
But it looks so purposeful. That's the beauty.
Yeah. So some of these crystals are a little smaller than I would have liked, but we had to use what was available to us.
If you want on that wire too, just throwing it out there is and when I do mine, maybe I'll take a picture. But when you are bringing it back up and you have a lot of wire, you could do a spiral on that backside with that wire.
You could
hook it to the
or
top,
on the front
and you could keep spiraling out, so it almost makes like the bottom of his belly. Or if you were going to have it on top, it could be part of the top of his shell.
Yeah. So again, I'm going to put the smallest size up against the body. The next size, I do sort of have a formula for the front legs, but you could make it whatever makes sense for you. In this one, since these crystals are smaller, I'm actually using two of the big ones.
Well, it's good to see how the different sizes look.
Yeah. And then
Mama's arms don't need to be as bulky as Dad's.
Yeah, she doesn't work out as much, but
we do still have to watch the figure there.
Yeah. So I like the arms to, when I fold them back, to come about at least halfway down the body. So that's sort of my formula for length. But like I said, it's totally up to you.
That's helpful though.
But before you get these too tight, so we're going to wrap this one back around. So this is where you have to be careful on this little tiny crystal that you don't crush it.
So if you notice, she's holding right at the point of where she wants to bend. Okay, yeah. That helps one protect your crystal, and as well as bending it exactly where she's kind of holding.
Yeah, and then just kind of wrap it. It doesn't really have to go between these. You can wrap it around the outsides. Whatever, you can feel free to wrap it between, but make sure you leave a little flexibility before you start wrapping back if you're going to wrap it between the crystals. Whereas I'm just kind of wrapping it on top of the crystals. And as soon as I get this back to the neck area,
if you've left the space there and then you fill it up, then the arms won't bend nearly as easily, okay?
Right. So, and then you just continue to wrap this back. If you have extra, you can wrap it around this neck area, which I apparently do not have enough extra, so I'm just going to tuck mine in. But see, I just wrapped on top, and now you do have to be a little careful, and you may have to adjust. Like I said, the end came loose, so now I have to tuck it in. But that's how you end up not having an end, right?
Yeah.
So that one probably was a little tight. I can't bend it real hard. But,
and you'll feel it, so you'll know if you you can certainly do it again. It gives you your wire working experience, but that's why you get three of them to practice on.
Yeah. Well, and like I said, there's so many different ways you can use them and do them. So you can do the easy way, or you can make it more stable or less edges, depending on how you want to look at it, I guess.
Well, Janelle is saying there was no kindergarten offered when you started school. Well, I don't think kindergarten is required, if I am not mistaken. And Teresa says she's much older than you ladies. Oh, is that so, Teresa? Well, I know when my dad went to school, he went to school with the nuns, and they could, be slapping you with rulers and picking you up by the collar and, talking to you in the other room, I think.
I was gonna say we didn't have nuns, but they were allowed to spank us if we got out of line, and that was just in a public school.
Yeah, that's it's quite a change of the world. Well, and I think the way that we like see our kids a little bit is so different now too. Before, like, you had kids so they could like help you do stuff around the farm. Now, or whatever around the household. Now it's like the kids get all the rights. Not this one. I'm getting her to do beading soon enough.
All right, so there we go. We have the feet both wrapped back.
I like the look of it with a wire wrapped around those.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's a very flexible design. You just have to kind of give some thought to what you want to do with it.
Do you guys like it with the wire wrap or the loops on the bottom? Let me know. Let's see. Karen says they paddled us in public school. I remember kids in front of the class getting whacked on the behind. Oh my God.
Yep.
Did they take like one of those cricket board things? That's what I think of.
Yeah, ping pong paddle is what we used.
That's like the perfect size for a little tush. I don't know. That was that'd be hard. I was so rule bound, so I don't think I would have had a problem. But
I never got in trouble, but
yeah. So that wasn't going to be my fate anyway. But and I find that Jonah is the same way. Now this one here, Lana Kai, I'm not so sure. She's pretty vocal, so we're going to see. Let's see. Carolyn went to nursery school at 4, kindergarten at 5, and then first grade. Yeah, that seems a bit normal, but is kindergarten? I don't know that kindergarten is required. One of the teachers used one of the paddles from the rubber ball and elastic toy. Oh, those little wood paddles. Look at you. Hey, are all you beaters? Were you guys all the rebellious ones?
I was the good kid.
You were the good kid. I was a pretty good kid too. Janelda says, my father said that's why God put butts on kids. Oh my God. Oh my gosh. It makes you tough though. Today the teachers, I know, and it's sad that the teachers can't even give a child a hug these days, or even like put a hand on the shoulder or something. It is sad. Oh, Karen, you had red hair. I didn't know that.
It's funny.
That is too funny. Actually, my mom had red hair too. I wonder if when I get, if I'm gonna go all white or if I'll be salt and peppery.
I was hoping for white because one grandmother had beautiful white hair, but everybody's ending up with gray.
Yeah, I think an all white would be okay, I guess. But my son just brought it to my attention. He said, "Oh, this one doesn't look like one of those rainbow sparkles," and then he pulled it out, and it was a nice long white hair.
you tell him he was the cause for that?
No, because that wouldn't be the truth. It would have been my husband.
All right. So here we have one where I wrapped back on both legs, or all four legs, and we have a loop at both ends. So we could certainly hang this from a necklace with a small dangle below, or like I said, it can be the center of our sun catcher.
I like it.
But
I
like I
like it.
said, so as you make these, the only thing you need to decide is whether you're using the curled loops or wrapping all the way back. So you cut your wire to the right length, and then just make sure if you think you're going to want to hang things from both sides, put a loop in the bottom, right?
Carolyn, I love
And
it. She said she had questioned authority stamped on her forehead. Those are super cute, Paula. I really like it with the wire wrapping along those legs. I like that they're done, of course, with crystal.
yeah, and all in our favorite fun colors, right?
Yes, of course, all done in our favorite colors. I know. I think that we need to make our family of of them, and we're gonna make ours into a sun catcher. Do
All
you
right,
see? Do you see your?
here's my turtle that I'm willing to
Oh!
part with, and he's even amethyst.
Oh! I hope I get to enter. Do we get to
So
enter?
if you post your turtles, you get in the drawing.
All right. All right. So we'll get that posted up. We want to see your rendition of the turtles. You guys can certainly catch in on the replay. And let's see. Should we give them? And then I'll put up the details of when you got to put in your entries by.
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll decide entries. If you post them on Bead Stash Challengers before the 30th, you will get in this month's drawing for our free giveaway
Ooh,
as
so
well. So
you can get double duties on that one. So you can get in twice. So make sure you guys are following her. I see that Facebook had gotten some new rules, so I'm glad that you were able to get up and running and get your first 100
oh
followers.
yeah, yeah. I want to thank you all for helping me. It yeah, it was weird because no warning. It was just all of a sudden it said, "Oh, you don't have enough followers."
Yeah,
But you guys really helped
they
me out and
literally
rose
just
to the
changed that.
occasion. I got more. I got enough followers. So
Well, I know that they're changing things all the time, and so you got to keep on top. Even my things that get connected, they say, "Oh, there was some new actually, when I was hopping onto StreamYard, it gave me that same message saying, "Oh, Facebook has updated its policies. You now have to have blah 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 in order for this." So it literally just happened
I
on.
think it was a new policy. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Because I did try going to StreamYard to see if it would let me do it, and it wouldn't.
No, and it had a nice bar, which I hadn't, of course, been on until I was getting on here with you, and it gave me exactly that message. So I am glad to help give you that boost and get you going.
Yeah.
You're on your like 25th episode, 27th episode.
So this is week 26. We're halfway through the year,
Nice.
and this is our third episode with you. We keep hitting milestones, like the day before Lanakai was born.
I love
I
it,
forget.
and
I
it's
was looking back at when we did the rabbits, and there was something that happened right around that time too, and I don't remember what it was, but it was kind of funny. My schedule lining up with yours always has some question as to whether everything's going to work out.
well, I tell you that the things happen the way they should. The universe gives you exactly what you need.
Yeah. So one more comment on orders. Yeah, I'll take orders for both the cards and the kits until I run out, but I will be traveling for the 2 weeks in the middle of July, so nothing will be shipping during that time. So
Okay. Well, that's okay. I know that it's worth the wait. So make sure you guys get that C and what is it? Sea and Sun
Sun
expansion
and
pack.
Sea deck.
Yes, and then you can get all the little extras as well. And of course, you guys got to grab in on your sea turtle kits. Ouch, ouch, her teeth hurt. Ow, ow. And you can see, well, yesterday was also her birthday too, because in your first year of life, every month is your birthday. So she turned 7 months yesterday officially.
Wow.
And you can see how well she's standing, sitting.
She's ready to take off.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's what we said, and I think there's proof that we said that she was going to hit the ground running. And here she is, 7 months. I don't think my son started until he was like a year. So you're way too early. Ah!
She wants to keep up with everybody. You got to walk as soon as you can.
I know. Well, and having the little, well, and we already have the other babies in the house, so the puppy and the kitty are still getting used to being a baby themselves and figuring out, how do we play with this baby here? What is she going after my bone? She's like, I just want to touch it. I just want to touch it. Maybe taste it. Isn't that right? Well, Paula, it's always so great to see you. I always love seeing your creations, all the things that you're coming up with, and it's always fun to play a little bit. And who knows what the next one's going to be. We're like growing our stash of animal life.
Yeah, I have some thoughts, but I need to talk to you about kits. Yeah.
I love it. Well, we'll certainly get on to the next one. So make sure you guys like and share this post. That always helps the algorithm when they're working, and send some hearts if you guys like today's sea turtle and crystals. All fun seeing the whole family. Of course, a little hi to Lana Kai as well. See. She's such a ham. Okay, and you guys, I am just I know I got home last week, but I literally so if you guys didn't catch the beginning of the episode, I am still in recovery from getting home. So I was with my husband for 48 hours, like dealing with pretty much ER and hospital, and but he is on the meds. He got some antibiotics, he got some steroids, and so he's feeling a little bit better. And we had an awesome day for our pool party for my son who turned 10. And this mom is in recovery. I'm hoping, I'm feeling a little down myself here today, so I'm hoping that I am not getting what my family is dishing. So that's exactly what I have to say about it. Yeah, exactly. Right now, she's feeling all right. So we will be continuing on this week. We'll be playing around here on Wednesday, unless you hear some other posts. Hopefully, I am going to be standing. You can be expecting playing with Suzanne here this weekend, since we have to reschedule. Ooh, she is drooling. Oh my gosh, that was so much. All that strawberry in. Oh my goodness. That's like the whistle. And so we'll be still, our plan is still to be having our two-day live sale going on, so we can keep on trucking. And then a special announcement, although Paula, I know that, so Paula originally was from Northern Virginia as well, where we're from, and I'm looking to be heading back up there here in the first weekend of July. So that is July 5th and 6th, and I want to know, do you guys want to come see me? Should I pop up shop? I'm thinking I could do a Friday Night Live, but I'm thinking that I could also bring it to you guys and come in person. So I would like to hear from you guys. If you guys are from the Northern Virginia area or in the traveling area, should we do either a Friday Night Live on live, or do you guys would you guys like a little pop-up shop? So let me know. That would be July 5th and July 6th possibly. I want to get some opinions from you guys. I'm going to be headed up that way, and I think I could probably make it happen. And I would certainly miss you, Paula. Maybe
yeah, I'm sorry I'll miss it.
Yes. Well, I'll still bring you guys in, either way. But we're kind of seeing what the universe is going to tell us, and I will be alone. So I'm gonna be like single mom weekend. Woo! Bring on the beads. So we're gonna be bringing together the bead brigade. I know. So we're gonna be bringing the bead brigade together, and hopefully having a little bit of a party regardless. But maybe we should do a pop-up shop as well. And if you think I should pop up shop, what should I bring? Put it in the comments. All right, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us here today. Thank you so much, Paula, for coming and playing with us. And we will see you guys on the next one.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. Say bye. All right, everybody. Thank you.